you mean? Over Portmore, yeah. Empty everything. Until the police can do nothing. Empty that.
You know, there's an interesting saying, everybody have the same 24 hour. So it is what we choose to do with our 24 hours that define us on a daily basis. One of the sad things about Jamaica is that the people who are the loudest are usually the people who do the least, are usually the people who cause the most problems. Without getting into too much detail, you can examine for yourselves. Now, this today's situation that we have with the taxi operators staging a protest against what? Or for what end, right? Now, this morning I heard that there was a protest by the taxi operators, or a boycott by the taxi operators. And I said to the person, it couldn't be for the roads, because the roads were in a bad condition nearby me, right? And they were putting in pipes. They were putting in new pipes that for a new system. So I was kind of bewildered by it. But they said no. What they want is an amnesty for tickets. And I said okay. Because what I am familiar with, I think every year or some time of the year, they have some kind of amnesty where people with outstanding tickets can pay those tickets without, let's just say, without complication, right? And I understand that, but we run the risk of making one rule for one and a different rule for the other. And what I have noticed in Jamaica is that, and a lot of people notice this, the people who do the right thing are usually the ones who suffer. For instance, the taxi operators that are protesting, right? There are instances where other taxi operators were continuing service, and the taxi operators who were in protest and maybe some of their colleagues were actually taking passengers out the car, demanding that passengers come out of the car, things of to that nature, right? Now, this person has not seen it fit to protest, and I would suggest that these are the taxi operators that have said, wait, I got tickets, I paid my tickets. As a matter of fact, I am very careful not to get tickets, right? So why am I protesting with other drivers who may or may not have quite a few tickets that they chose not to pay? Now, what is the system, right? If the police accuses you of committing an offense, right? And they issue you a ticket. You get that ticket, you choose to either pay the ticket or contest it in court. Most people will pay the ticket. Few will contest it in court. But I am concerned that there is a vast amount of people who will choose just to totally disregard any ticket that they have received, leading to some drivers, whether bus or taxi operators or otherwise, that have racked up over 100 tickets. Now, this is not the case for most of the drivers, right? Maybe a few have a few tickets that they didn't pay, or in some cases maybe they do have in the over maybe 20, over 30, maybe in the hundreds tickets, right? But where does that leave the system overall? Where does that leave the governance of the country? Where does that leave Jamaica itself, right? The system was set up as described to deter bad driving, right? So I am concerned that if this is not upheld, if there is no adherence to what is the law and what it means to abide by the law, what is the consequence of not abiding by the law? Now, as I said in the beginning, the loudest people, the people that cause the most problems, are the ones doing the least, are the ones who are contributing the least to the development of the country. And I would put to anybody, and as a matter of fact, I strongly believe that the only way we will stop crime, we will stop corruption, we will stop all the bad things happening in this country and move forward and make a actual progressive country that we can actually be proud of going anywhere. I believe the only solution is that people do their jobs, especially people in government. They are the ones that ensure that things run how they are supposed to run. So whether it is the police who issues a ticket at the site of some disregard for the law, or whether it is the ticket administrators, whether it is the judge, whether it is, because after all, we are the ones who pay them, right? And really and truly, if a police stops you and says to you, oh, you're supposed to get a 10 grand ticket, but here, just give me a thing and go on, we should actually be very disappointed. A lot of people will not see it this way, but you pay your tax dollars to pay these officers and pay these people to ensure things run right. If you are a person who are doing the right thing in this country, if you are a person who is paying your taxes, paying your tickets when you get them, paying your road license, your fitness fee, all of that, right? You want to see your tax dollars go to work. So without getting into too much detail, right? I hope they come to some amicable understanding, but it cannot be that people are protesting something that they themselves could have avoided. If you did the wrong thing, pay the ticket. If you believe you didn't do the wrong thing, go to court. If you don't go to court, go to Elliston Road and pay a ticket or whatever. But it cannot be that we are pulling people out of other people's taxi and saying a protest is going on, and it's sad. But in any case, let us see how this progresses, because as I always say, we have to start somewhere. We cannot be stuck in this barbaric society for much longer, right? We have to move forward. We have to grow, and we cannot grow if everybody is not on the same page. If people still protesting that the ticket that they got, that they didn't pay, that they didn't show up to court for, that they didn't make sure that it is in order, or make sure that they deal with it. They are now protesting for an amnesty. If they get it, fine. But what is to say this won't happen again next year? At some point, we have to get to the point where somebody is not wearing a seatbelt. They get a ticket. They either pay the ticket or they show up to court and say, "Boy, I was wearing my seatbelt. I don't know what the police saw," and they deal with it there. But we cannot just disregard the law. We cannot. We have to pass that point. We're still disregarding the law. You understand? I get tickets. I get some exorbitant tickets. I get some low tickets, but my mentality is always I have to deal with this ticket, and sometimes I am late, I end up having to go to court. But there is a reverence for the law, a reverence for when you get a ticket, you know you have to pay it. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, people. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I wish you all the best. Big up. This is Jamaica Worldwide.